We meet again at last. The circle is now complete.
What's the world coming to?
Well, you got a problem with what I did, Anthony?
Oh, no. Hey, no.
Fucking rat anyways. Whole family's all rats. Would have grew up to be a rat.
Stupid bastard. I can't fucking believe it.
Gee, I'm real sorry your mom blew up, Ricky.
Now you're gonna dig the fucking thing. You're gonna dig the hole. You're gonna do it. I got no fucking line. You're gonna do it.
Yes, I'll take the fucking hole. I don't give a fuck.
I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was pure and simply evil.
Jesus Christ. Mister, you okay in there?
Let's visit the coffees around here someplace.
Have you any idea what the cost of your actions is? What their effect might be? Or you to give them hope? What do you give them? We give them happiness. And they give us authority. Groovy.
What's going on, friends? It's Logan Myerz and Henry Hill for the newest edition of the Cinephellas Podcast, episode 45. It's good to be back. Henry, how are you doing today, my friend?
Oh, Logan, is that you? Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, buddy, what's going on, dude?
Am I talking to George Michael from Wham? This other guy in Wham, I don't know his name.
Yeah.
That guy. Beautiful intro. Careless Whisper, one of my all-time favorites. I actually just listened to that yesterday because didn't I send it to you? No, it was a different Wham song.
It was a different one, but it gave me the idea to play this one. I just threw on like 80s hits, and it's like the third song on there.
80s, dude, it's a classic too, and I did karaoke to that at a wedding a long time ago. A bunch of friends, and we just butchered it because we always the only part we knew was the chorus.
That'd be awesome to hear. I wonder if anybody's got a phone recording. Probably not. I was back before phones, probably. It'll live in our memories forever.
It'll always live there with George Michael and his beautiful, beautiful hair and smile.
I'm doing good. I am waiting on my new TV that I'm getting for my living room. So I'm stoked for that. I'm finally converting up into 4K. It's a little bit bigger screen for my living room. I got a Ultra HD Blu-ray player for it. So I'm ready to throw in some of those movies that you got me for Christmas last year. You got me a couple of 4Ks.
It will change your life, my friend. I will tell you that from experience. Once you get that 4K TV up and the 4K player, 4K movies, everything 4K, it makes a world of difference in terms of like resolution, the way the picture looks. It's astounding, and it's going to be right in your living room. Speaking of 4K, they just released Casino on 4K Restore on Tuesday. I really want to buy that. I just got Casino on Blu-ray last Christmas, and I like with the 4K of it. I don't know if it'll make that much of a difference, but we'll see. I'll definitely pick it up.
Right. I actually just watched the film the other day because I wanted to watch, a few Scorsese's films before The Irishman come out. So I threw in Casino. It looks great on Blu-ray. Like you said, I don't know how much better it'll be on 4K, but I did see the listing and I got kind of tempted. But I think maybe I'll wait for maybe a Scorsese like box set or something to come out maybe, or I'll just, wait until it, Black Friday or something like that.
Oh, an old 25 Scorsese films in a box set for $900.
Yeah, I'll even watch the ones about the Rolling Stones and Bob Dylan that I don't really care about,
Yeah, because we love the director, so I'm sure it's pretty good. So the last podcast, episode 42, we were talking about the Joker, film, Castle Rock, things like that. We wanted to dive into more of the fall preview for 2019, movies, TV shows coming out over the next, 3 months. It's now, middle of September, so I want to talk about some movies we're really excited for and to be on the lookout for. So, Henry, do you have any movies, TV shows you kind of want to talk about coming out?
Yeah, I do, and I'm going to start with a film that you can talk about here for a little bit that you've actually already seen. You got a screener recently. 3 from Hell comes out on the 16th on Monday. And so you were lucky enough to watch it already.
Oh, I wouldn't say lucky's the word.
Ouch.
The third installment of the Firefly family saga. Yeah, it comes out. They're doing 3 nights of the screening, 16th, 17th, and 18th, the next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, select theaters. The friendly people over at Lionsgate sent me a screener to watch on my computer. It's about an hour and a half long, and definitely wasn't what I expected it to be. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to spoil anything. But essentially, we pick up with, the Fireflies, Captain Spaulding. After seeing the Devil's Rejects, we think they're dead, and they kind of say why and what happens to them. And one of the characters, it doesn't end well for him early on. I'm not going to say who. And but just the way the movie was shot was like a very documentary-style film, and it felt completely different than the other 2 movies. And something felt off about it, and I'm still trying to put my tongue on. I'm like, what is missing from this film? And I don't know, just some of the performances weren't as great either. They're, reprising these characters of Otis, Baby, everybody else, and just something felt off. I didn't really care for it. Overall, I thought it was the weakest entry in the 3 movies. House of 1,000 is still my favorite. But this is definitely the weakest one, in my opinion.
The next movie that comes out on September 20th that I wanted to mention here in the fall preview, it's called Ad Astra, and it stars Brad Pitt. Don't know too much about the film. Pretty much know that it's a astronaut kind of movie. It looks like Brad Pitt's up in space. So did you know anything more about that? I don't even know if I've seen a full preview for it or anything yet.
I've seen a few trailers of it. Essentially, His dad is played by Tommy Lee Jones, and his dad is involved in this weird project where it gets, from what I could see from the trailer, it gets straight, like sci-fi. It looks like close to like Alien or something. He goes up into space, and he kind of like has this accident, and him finding out what his dad was up to in space, and there's a huge sci-fi factor to it, obviously. So I'm thinking there's something having to do with creatures up in space, but it looks pretty interesting. I will say that.
All right. Well, yeah, Brad Pitt, he rarely makes bad films, so I'm sure it'll turn out well. Ad Astra, September 20th is when that comes out. On the same day, Sylvester Stallone continues another franchise. I believe this is the 6th film in the Rambo film series. Rambo's back. He's 70-something years old. It has to do with somebody getting kidnapped. I think it's somebody in a family or like a friend's daughter or something like that gets kidnapped by these Mexican drug lords, like a cartel. And Rambo has to go save her. It's another gritty Rambo movie. Revenge. It looks like he's going to cross the border and use all his skills that we've seen play out over the last 5 Rambo films, or 4 maybe. It looks pretty decent how it's shot and everything. It looks like it's pretty low budget, but ultra violent, and Stallone's Rambo character, John Rambo, is out for revenge. It even kind of looks like a little Western in some shots that we've seen from the film. He's like on a horse, etc. It takes place at his ranch for a part of the movie. And so it definitely looks gritty. Uncle Ryan is real excited for this film, so I may even end up going to see this on September 20th. Not that I'm super big Rambo fan, but I mean, you know what you'd be getting. It's kind of like the John Wick movies. You're going to see some people getting their ass kicked and their fucking brains blown out. The only thing that's throwing me off from what I've seen out of this Rambo is that he doesn't have the long hair. So it's like, right. Oh, hey, there's Rocky, but then you have to be like, oh no, this is Rambo. He cut his long hair that he's had in pretty much every film. All right, continuing on. Now we're getting into October, and we've the past couple of weeks we've been talking a lot about the Joker. That's coming out on October 4th. Basically, Joaquin Phoenix is supposed to deliver a great performance, and it's been getting rave reviews at the Toronto Film Festival. I believe it earned the highest honor, and it earned a long-standing ovation, and it's gotten a lot of critical acclaim. The latest thing that I read today is that it's tracking so far to make about $80 million in its opening weekend. So,
wow.
Just from that positive word of mouth that's been coming out, they're predicting a pretty strong opening. From what I read in the article too, Todd Phillips, the director, has cautioned people not to expect just like him turning into the Joker right away. He says it's a slow burn. You'll start like at the very beginning, and it slowly goes up. But by the end of the film, it's full on Joker, and Joaquin Phoenix is just totally in character. But it's a slow burn. You slowly see Arthur, his character, his mental state whittle away, and so yeah, that's the latest on that. That's coming out on October 4th. So we'll see how that one turns out. After that, the next weekend, October 11th, we have 2 films that'll be coming out that week that are worth mentioning. First one is called Gemini Man, and it stars Will Smith in kind of a dual role, I'd say. It's him, of course, and then you have another character that's using computer effects. It's de-aging him. So you have the old Will Smith and a super young-looking Will Smith in the same movie, and it's like a sci-fi adventure. What do you think? Are you interested in Gemini Man?
Not really. I saw the trailer at before a few movies we went to AMC, and not really. It's from the director of Life of Pi. He won an Oscar for that movie, and
right.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just from the trailer, something doesn't really interest me. Yeah, I saw the de-aging Will Smith, like him in like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air days, but it looked really fake. I think just the CGI didn't look that great to me, in my opinion. But I'll probably wait for that one for Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I mean, I usually like Will Smith, and his sci-fi movies have been decent, not great or anything, but I enjoyed I Am Legend and a couple films like that. I thought they were decent enough. So, yeah, Gemini Man comes out October 11th, and also on that date, we have the animated film just in time for Halloween season, The Addams Family. So that looks like it stars Logan's favorite actor in the world as the voice of Gomez, Oscar Isaac.
I just punched him. True story. One of the most hated actors, in my opinion. Actors I strongly dislike is Oscar Isaac. Why that is? I think it all started from the character in Drive.
Drive, yeah.
And like, this guy's in fucking everything, and he's always the same character. But the more I look at it now, I've seen him in some great roles. So the hate isn't as strong as it used to be, but I don't care for him.
Well, you won't have to look at him physically. It'll just be his voice.
Be animated,
yeah.
He'll be Raul Julia.
We're getting an animated Addams Family. It looks pretty cool. I mean, the animation looks cool. So I am definitely down to watch the new Addams Family animated movie.
I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this. I'm a huge Addams Family fan. The movies from the 90s, the old school show back in the day. I think we're going to take Bodie to see that. So come October, it's going to be a family outing to see the Addams Family.
Da-na-na-na.
The creepy and the kooky.
Mysteriously spooky.
The Addams Family.
On October 15th, they're back. We haven't seen them since Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. We got Jay and Silent Bob and Jay and Silent Bob reboots coming out October 15th. This movie looks fun. It looks like it I can't talk. This movie looks pretty cool. It looks like it gathers the characters from Kevin Smith's other films. It's got Jason Lee. It's got all the people that are always in it. Ben Affleck.
Lam Brody.
Yep. It looks awesome. I know Kevin Smith really wanted to make this film. This was his passion project, especially after he had that heart attack. I think it gave him the inspiration to make a movie that he wants this to be the movie he's remembered by. So it looks really great. It looks like in the film, Jay and Silent Bob are going to attend what's hilariously called Chronicon instead of Comic-Con. So there's going to be a Chronicon with Jay and Silent Bob. So, there's going to be some smoking in the movie. There's going to be some road trip fun. There's going to be a lot of characters that we've seen before and some awesome cameos. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the Jay and Silent Bob reboot coming out October 15th.
When I saw the first trailer, I'm like, okay, and then I've seen a few more they've released, and it actually looks really good, and I will definitely be attending that. Go and see that.
Yeah, that's a movie. That's a movie that you want to go with a friend or something. That comes out the 15th, so even when you're done visiting me here, maybe we can go see that one.
Oh, cool. That's gonna be a good weekend for movies then.
Yeah, for sure. Plenty of movies to choose from. Zombieland Double Tap is coming out October 18th. We've already talked about that one. You're not as excited as me. I think I saw a trailer attached to, what did I just see? It Chapter 2, that's what it was. And it showed some new footage from that looked really good. It looks like Woody Harrelson dresses like Elvis in the film. So
Yeah.
it looks like there's some pretty funny parts, yeah. So hopefully that one turns out well. Also on that day of the 18th, we've also been talking about this a lot. The Lighthouse is being released finally, and that looks like a really awesome black and white psychological thriller from the director of The Witch. Of course, stars Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. I know we're both really looking forward to that one. That looks like a cool, original horror film.
Yeah, definitely. It's the top 3 movies I'm excited to see this fall. The Lighthouse, Joker, and Dr. Sleep in November. So I'm really excited for that. And all I can say about The Lighthouse is, keeping secrets, are ye? That was my Willem Dafoe. Yeah, from the trailer. Keeping secrets, are ye? I can't do the thick New England accent, I guess. It's too much of a Midwestern, I guess.
Too hard,
yeah.
Too hard for us.
18th. I'll be down that weekend, so maybe we can do like a double feature and see 2 flicks and review them.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot to choose from that'll be in theaters. So, yeah, we're definitely gonna have at least 1 or 2 movies to go to. So that's gonna be awesome. So the next few movies that I have, starting up November 1st, Terminator: Dark Fate is finally being released. Not much more to say on that. Arnold, Linda Hamilton back. New story. James Cameron's producing. He's given it his vote of confidence in saying that it's a direct sequel to T2. From the trailers, I don't buy it, but I mean, I'm willing to give it a chance.
Yeah, we talked about it really more in depth on the last podcast. Neither of us are too thrilled about it. The CGI kind of takes us out of it. But we'll see. We'll see how the reviews are and then kind of go from there if we'll check it out in theaters.
Also, a little movie is coming out on November 1st to select theaters. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. It's worth mentioning. The Irishman, some director named Marty Scorsese.
Who?
Directing, it looks like Marty Scorsese. I don't know. Says he's a director.
Never heard of him.
That little film is coming out on November 1st, like I said, to select theaters. And then apparently Netflix is giving it a pretty big release right before Thanksgiving on the 27th. So I just looked at the running time, 3.5 hours. This film, nobody's going to watch it.
It's a gift that keeps on giving, Clark.
Hey, Clark.
3 hours.
That you? 3.5 hours. Get it right.
3.5 hours, dude. Yeah, I'm going to be off work for like 4 days. So I have plenty of time to watch that movie after eating a bunch of turkey.
I need to call Marty and have him get a camera on you during the whole experience. See how many times you're like drooling and passing out, falling asleep during that one.
My glasses on the end of my nose.
I give you a month to watch it. You finally finish it within 31 days. You watch like 10 minutes every day of the month. So you mentioned this earlier. We're super excited for this movie. It looks so good. Mike Flanagan directing Dr. Sleep. Looks like it has that same awesome filming style that he used for Haunting of Hill House. Just dark and like really draws you into the story. He pays attention to the characters a lot. Of course, this one, Ewan McGregor is playing Danny Torrance from the original Shining, and from the last trailer I saw, it looks like they're headed back to the Overlook.
Yeah, they are. They end up back at the Overlook Hotel, and you see the famous door, Jack Torrance with the axe, and all the hallway, the infamous hallways with the twins, and then room 237. So they're definitely going back. That's gonna be awesome. It makes me that much more excited. Like I'm so excited for this movie because I'm a huge fan of The Shining, and then seeing an older Danny Torrance returning what could go wrong, what's going to happen there. So it's going to be a really amazing theater experience.
Did you ever get a chance to read that novel?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I wanted
cool.
to. I checked it out from the library, and I never got around to it because it's busy. I want to read it.
At this point, you might as well watch the movie first, and then I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll watch the movie first, and then maybe pick it up on Audible or something, get the audiobook to listen to when I'm at work. My wife, Mandy, read the book. She really liked it. Her favorite horror film and one of her favorite films is The Shining. So, she said it was good. So, yeah, I know. Who would have thought? Yeah, but that's one of her favorites for sure.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I wish I knew more of the source material, but from what I can make out of the trailer, I think they kind of touch on most of the, main points of the book.
You'll be able to figure out what's going on. Yep, for sure.
So one I'm really excited for that's been already, critics have been raving about from Toronto International Film Festival. I think it was Venice Film Festival too, talking about Ford versus Ferrari that's released on November 15th. Starring Matt Damon and their old uncle, Christian Bale.
My man.
Hey, mate, I'm Christian. Nice to meet you. And the new film is directed by James Mangold that directed Logan, which was critically acclaimed and one of my favorite entries, kind of the X-Men universe, or especially Wolverine. And fantastic director. It's supposed to be very, very good. And it's going to be really interesting seeing these two characters acting together, Matt Damon and Christian Bale. So unlikely duo, but it looks like just from the trailer alone, it looks pretty phenomenal. So I'm excited for that on the 15th. What do you think, Henry?
It looks pretty interesting to me. I know it's based on a true story. Basically, the Shelby Cobra and the Ferrari, I believe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But basically, it's about these two race car drivers. I think they're both drivers. But it's like a showdown between the two types of sports cars, and they're both trying to outdo each other. Like you said, Christian Bale and Matt Damon working together. That's enough to get me to watch it, just to see those two together. They're both great actors. Christian Bale, we love. He's definitely, I'd probably say he's my favorite, definitely top 5 actors for me. So I'm looking forward to Ford vs. Ferrari 2. Like you said, James Mangold directed Logan. Really enjoyed that film. It was probably the best comic book movie that we've seen so far. So that's his next film. I think it'll be pretty good. Ford vs. Ferrari, November 15th.
Matt Damon plays Carroll Shelby, Shelby Cobra, the Mustangs. He's the car designer, so he doesn't drive. He's just the designer of the car. And then Ken Miles he's the driver. Ken Miles is played by Christian Bale. So
the next performance that is coming out that's already, been talking a lot about during these film festivals. I think it's had a premiere. I believe I saw a review on it. I'm talking about Tom Hanks playing
Fred Rogers.
Okay. Yep. So on November 22nd, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, we have Tom Hanks playing Mr. Rogers, the beloved children's show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Of course, I think most kids grew up watching Mr. Rogers. Today we have Dan Tiger, which is a spin-off from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. But basically, Mr. Rogers was something safe for your kids to watch. He always taught films and stuff. He was very interested in helping out kids in unfortunate situations and, making them better people and making them people that they'll grow into and contribute to society. So we have Tom Hanks playing Mr. Rogers, and from the makeup and the sweatshirt and everything, he looks pretty similar to Mr. Rogers, and it sounds like he has his accent down, everything from the trailers. I'm going to go out to see this at the theater, but it looks good. I'll definitely be watching it when it comes out.
It seems like a movie you're going to go to and you're going to have to bring a box of tissues. You're going to be crying and stuff because it's going to be
really emotional.
Heartfelt movie, and it's, him portraying Mr. Rogers. Like all of us, we grew up with that. I grew up with that show, and then showing Bodie Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And like you were saying, it teaches you life lessons, how kids, sharing and being good people and understanding, just all these lessons that he taught young kids over how many years. A great thing for kids. It was a great kids TV show. And, one of the best actors in Hollywood that's been doing it forever, Tom Hanks portraying Fred Rogers. It's pretty spot on. in the pictures they released in the trailer.
A film that has been gaining a lot of momentum lately that I've been reading about is coming out on November 27th, so same day as The Irishman. I'm talking about Ryan Johnson's film Knives Out. He has an original like mystery whodunit kind of movie. From the reviews I've read on it, they say it's phenomenal. It's a great original film. And they say Daniel Craig just kills it in the role. He's like the detective. And that's, from everything that I've read on it says like, this is like the next big franchise. Like if this movie does well, then Daniel Craig's going to probably do a bunch of these films because his character's that good. So some very solid buzz coming out for Knives Out.
Man, it's a stacked lineup too in the movie, in the cast here. Yeah, and they're talking about it at Toronto Film Festival, how great it was, saying it's one of the best films of the year, Ryan Johnson. So that's really good because we love him from Looper, directed Looper.
Looper and Brick, yep.
Brick, yep.
He did divide Star Wars Last Jedi fans. A lot of people hate him now and blah, blah, blah. Just the internet trolls, basically. I'm not going to hate the director because he didn't make a Star Wars film that I love. You know, people are ridiculous. You know, I'm not going to not watch somebody's work because they made one film that I didn't, that wasn't phenomenal to me. That's stupid. So
right.
I'm glad to hear that his next one, Knives Out, sounds really cool. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it. It's got Chris Evans. Yeah, a lot of solid cast. I'm pretty excited about it. I didn't really know what to expect at first, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty fun movie to watch. So.
Yeah, there's just a lot of great actors in it. Catherine Langford from 13 Reasons Why, she played Hannah. Jaden Martell that plays Bill in It, that we're going to have to talk about. He's in it. Daniel Craig, as you were saying. Toni Collette from Hereditary, she's in this.
She's solid.
Michael Shannon. Lakeith Stanfield, I love him. Great actor from Atlanta, that TV show. And don't forget Uncle Don Johnson.
Definitely looking forward to it. It excites me. I've only seen one trailer. I think that's all I need to see. It looks like a pretty cool, kind of like, it reminds me of Clue almost, like the font they use for the poster and kind of how it's like we're going to be trying to figure out who gets murdered or something like that. Looks like it'll be a fun film to experience in the theater. December hits, and I just have three films I want to mention for December. Starts with Jumanji, The Next Level, the third film in the Jumanji franchise. It's bringing back The Rock, Nick Jonas, and Kevin Hart from the last film. It's bringing back the kids that were playing those people in their normal form, not avatars. I wasn't too into the last Jumanji. The first one's always going to be the best to me. I don't really care. Didn't really care about the last Jumanji, but I mean, I can understand people think it's fun and everything. It looks fun enough. Jack Black's also in it. I didn't mention him. So this looks like the next story for this. It looks like they go back into like a video game. So what do you think? Did you like the last Jumanji, or did you like me?
I actually have not seen it. Yeah, I have not seen it. Can't really say. Yeah, it does look like a fun movie. Right. It's probably a flick I'll watch at Bodie one of these days. But yeah, just haven't got around to it, unfortunately. But yeah, the new one looks fun. The returning cast, and looks like it's gonna be a good theater experience. Lots of action and crazy scenarios they get into.
Yeah, Kevin Hart and The Rock make fun of each other throughout the whole movie. It's pretty funny, those two together. So
yeah,
it's pretty
funny.
Cool.
They're funny as hell. They're good comedians and actors.
Same day, on December 13th, we have a Blumhouse horror film right in time for Christmas. It's called Black Christmas, and I think this one's a remake, isn't it? Have you seen it before, the original?
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago. It's a slasher flick from the 80s, and it's definitely a remake or reboot, whatever they want to call it. And I saw the trailer before It Chapter 2, and it gave the whole fucking movie away in the trailer.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
I think it played before our movie too. I just must not have paid attention to it enough.
But yeah, that's a reboot. It's Blumhouse. I'll definitely go support that and see it because we love them. But yeah, it's definitely a remake from back in the 80s. And the 80s one is, if you guys have not seen that one, definitely check it out. It's a classic of that era for sure, the slasher genre.
December ends with a bang, and George Lucas gets to sit back and count all the billions of dollars and not care what happens because he's not attached to it. That's right. I'm talking about on December 20th, we have Star Wars Rise of Skywalker hitting theaters finally. We've waited a few years. The Last Jedi, like I mentioned before, it was divisive between fans. Half of them liked it, half of them didn't. So they hired back J.J. Abrams, who directed The Force Awakens, to finish off this trilogy of films. And I got to say, the trailer looked really promising. It didn't give away too much, but it looks like we have some epic Star Wars scenes coming out, like Rey versus Kylo Ren fight in like the raging like ocean or something. It looks like.
Yeah, that shot is beautiful. I love that for the trailer.
Yeah, it looks really good. It looks really solid. It looks like the whole crew this time, they've been split up throughout the Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. They've been split up. But this one is going to gather the cast together. So you're going to see all these characters together, like I imagine going after Kylo Ren. Another thing that we've seen from this film, a poster, and we've heard him laughing in the background of the trailer, is the return of Emperor Palpatine. So that'll be pretty cool to round out the whole Skywalker saga. I mean, because basically this is attached to the original trilogy that we saw, the Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford films. So this is going to end that whole saga. So we're going to see Mark Hamill again, I'm sure. In the last one, it appeared like he died. We don't know for sure. You never know with Star Wars. And so there's a lot to cover in this movie. I mean, we need to see Rey fully turn over to, realize her potential as a Jedi. She's, shown flashes of being really awesome. We've also not gotten her whole story. She has a big, secretive story that's going to be answered in this film. We're going to finally know what's her lineage, who she comes from, The big bet is that she's a Skywalker, but we don't know for sure. Everything's being held pretty secretive.
Yeah, that's the big question is who are her parents? Where does she come from? It's not Luke Skywalker at this point, but yeah, they're going to dive into this in this newest film. And I'm really interested to see how that all plays out. And then also Palpatine, how that plays out in this movie. As you're saying, the laugh and the poster, we see Emperor Palpatine. But how does he come back, or how does this work in the new film? So a lot of great questions. Hopefully they answer in the final installment of the Skywalker saga. Was it like the Death Star in that ocean, off into the distance?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was a piece of the Death Star. Yeah, like the wreckage of it.
The wreckage of it, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm it's one of the cool shots in the movie, I remember. I'm definitely excited to go see this, because the last one I didn't care for, but I think they're going to go out with a bang. I think it's going to be badass.
I think it'll be the best out of this new trilogy. For sure, I got a good feeling about it. From everything
I think it's
seen,
a good hand.
Real action-packed.
When does that come out? The release date of Star Wars?
December 20th.
December 20th. Hell yeah, dude. Right around Christmas time, every time they release a Star Wars movie, it's right around that time. It's -20 out. But it's always fun going to see it in theaters. Add to that list, on Christmas Day, Last Christmas, starring Emilia Clarke, directed by Paul Feig. I'm actually interested in, this movie. I like her as an actress. And it's a rom-com. It comes out at Christmas. Feel good movie. So I want to add to that, and I think it looks pretty solid. So the first show I want to talk about is 911. It's co-created by Ryan Murphy, that's done, American Horror Story. It's about a group of firefighters and what they come across every day, all these crazy accidents, and then it's shot very well. Watched the first 2 seasons. They're both on Hulu. We have Peter Cross that's in it. He was the guy that was in 6 Feet Under, Parenthood. He kind of plays the chief, this firehouse, and all these other characters they bring in. And basically what happens to them each day, and it's really, really, really well done, and the storylines are excellent, and just a lot of great chemistry between these firefighters and how they survive each day. And the third season comes out September 23rd this month. And like I said, yeah, co-created by Ryan Murphy. Peter Cross is the standout of the show. And I'm excited to see what they do this season. Last season they brought in Jennifer Love Hewitt. She was kind of a dispatcher. Takes all the 911 calls and dispatches the cops and the firefighters. And she was really good. She had a really crazy backstory with her ex-boyfriend. And just a lot of great stories, a lot of great characters in the show. And it's a TV show a lot of people don't know about. And I always, suggest it to friends, recommend it, check it out because it's a good story and shot really well.
That's cool. Yeah, I've never seen it yet. I've never seen an episode. I've seen some previews that it has always looked pretty good, like it was something interesting. Just haven't got around to it. I'll have to give it a chance. Yeah,
there's a lot of people from Ryan Murphy, like American Horror Story, like Angela Bassett's in it. She plays a cop. The Asian guy, he was in, what was it, American Crime Story. He played Judge Ito. He's in this TV show. And a few other actors that have worked like American Horror Story and other TV shows for Ryan Murphy. They're in it, and they're all really great. So definitely check it out. Throw it on your queue on Hulu.
Speaking of Ryan Murphy, on September 18th, we have the return of American Horror Story. This one is American Horror Story 1984. We're both pretty excited about this one. This one looks like a slasher movie. So it's got me. I'm definitely going to be checking out that premiere. September 18th on FX.
On FX, yeah, it looks really promising. I'm a fan of the show. I've been watching all of them. And all the trailers and kind of teasers they've been releasing. It's obviously a take on Friday the 13th and Sleepaway Camp and, slasher subgenre of the 80s. And one of our favorite genres here at Cinephellas. So I'm definitely excited for this. I'll be watching when that premieres and doing a review for sure.
Ooh, looking forward to that. Yeah, hopefully it's an awesome season. It'll be cool to follow leading into Halloween, our favorites holiday. September 13th, this Friday, we have the return of The Ranch on Netflix. Stars Ashton Kutcher, Sam Elliott. It's pretty good. I mean, it's fallen off because Danny Masterson left a couple seasons ago after the whole Me Too movement controversy. So it's not as good as it once was, but I'm still following it. It's still good. Dax Shepard joined the cast last season. I believe they'll have these batch episodes and one more batch of episodes next year, and then that's it for The Ranch on Netflix. And then on Sunday, September 15th, we have the Comedy Central roast of Alec Baldwin. It looks awesome. Ross is the roast master. He's back. We have Robert De Niro is roasting him. You got some other comedians there. I don't have the list, but it's a few of Alec Baldwin's friends. Everybody's going to join up and roast him. I saw a little preview today of Jeff Ross making a joke basically about how Alec Baldwin is a hothead. So it's going to be good. All those are really funny. I mean, I've seen him roast John Stamos, Charlie Sheen, they've roasted Donald Trump before even, so.
Man, those are great. I love those. They just fucking rip on the person.
They're ruthless. Yeah.
Yeah. They fucking rip them apart, man.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. You even sometimes end up feeling bad for the people. Like, dang, I'm just tearing them apart.
The Bruce Willis one was great. I love that.
Yeah, that's right. That was one of the last ones that was on. Really funny. Later on in the month, probably definitely one of our top 5 favorite shows. Season 14 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is back. It looks like another fun 10 fall episodes to enjoy from this awesome group that keeps on making awesome television off the wall like nothing you've ever seen before. Just the craziest stories for these characters, the craziest arcs. This group together is like the funniest cast I've ever seen. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Why do you play Prince anymore, huh?
What? Just the stuff they come up with, always creative every year. There's always a couple standout episodes. One of the ones I remember from last year, really laughing at, is they basically go to Magic Waters or a water park, and it's Frank and Dennis, I think it was Frank and Dennis going down the water slide, and basically they're waiting in line, and Frank's, says like, "Hey, look at all those dirty needles that are coming down the slide," and like all the rest of the people are like running away in horror so they get to skip line to go on the ride and do all this like depraved stuff like that. It's too funny. And then the last episode.
Didn't Frank say something about like AIDS or something? Like he has AIDS?
Yeah, something about like AIDS needles in the pool, and then it's just like the most depraved stuff you've ever heard, and especially with
they're geniuses.
Danny DeVito. Yeah, they are geniuses, and they get Danny DeVito do something crazier every year. We've seen him make it I don't know how many times. He's like crawling out of stuff, like crawling out of the couch, crawling out of an animal. Like there's always something. There's always a scene with him in his tidy whities every year. It's always a little bit crazier every year. So yeah, September 25th, I think that's on FXX. It's Always Sunny season 14. A new show just in time for Halloween coming out the next day on the Shudder network, I believe, the streaming site Shudder. Creep Show, based on the 80s horror film from George Romero and Stephen King. Was it those two that combined forces and made this?
It was those two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting a TV show based on that material. Looks pretty cool. I don't know, a couple of shots from the trailer looks like it was kind of cheap, so we'll have to see how it turns out. But I mean, I'm excited from the little I've seen so far. Looks like they've gotten some looks like more of a B movie cast, which is okay with a movie like that. Like I said, I'm willing to give it a shot. And Greg Nicotero is on board, and Tom Savini's aboard.
A bunch of people that have been in like horror flicks and directors and writers. I mean, Joe Hill, Stephen King's son, wrote one of the episodes. There's just a ton of people involved. And I'm really excited for it. I've never had the Shudder streaming service. I've been reconsidering and trying to get that so I can just watch this TV show and watch Joe Bob Briggs.
That show's great.
Yeah, I'm really stoked for this one. It's one of my most anticipated of the fall for TV.
We have Creep Show coming to the Shudder streaming service on September 26th. Going into October, one of the shows that I have down on my calendar here that I'm looking forward to, I think it's the 5th season of Peaky Blinders, is coming to Netflix. It's already been showing in the UK already on BBC, but it's going to come to the US here on Netflix. So we have a new season of the Shelby Gang to look forward to. They're always awesome shows. Some of the dialogue's hard to understand just because they stick pretty close to the accent. Yep, you have the Shelby Gang. They're back for another season. Cillian Murphy kills it as Tommy Shelby. Arthur Shelby, his brother, I can't remember that actor's name, but he's always awesome. Arthur, yeah, the guy that plays Arthur.
Peaky fucking Blinders!
Property of the Peaky fucking Blinders. Yeah, just a cool show, a good gangster show. Looking forward to that. I don't know too much about the story. I haven't read into it too much.
I ended up binging the first 5 seasons, got fucking hooked on it. Loved it. Mobster, gangster show back in the day. The way they dress, they're just badasses.
Yeah.
I think at the end, Tommy has cancer, and then he's taken over some political role, if I remember correctly. And then the ending with Tom Hardy's character.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that ending. That was good. You had Adrian Brody in there as the Italian mob boss.
Me scusi,
Yeah. Yeah, the heavy Italian. Just the way that show is shot, Peaky Blinders reminds me of the grittier Guy Ritchie flick. Stephen Knight, the guy that directs it, he's made several other shows that are just great and just have that gritty English look that he's come known for. I think he also directs that Taboo series with Tom Hardy for FX, and as well as, I want to say, Luther, too. So he's been involved in all those shows. They're all top-notch. I can't wait for the next batch of Peaky Blinders coming out on October 4th to Netflix.
Hell yeah, I'm so excited for that. I'll definitely be knocking that out probably in a few days because that show is phenomenal. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely get caught up on it. It's on Netflix. The show on October 6th that's been released, the final season, which they released a poster and kind of a teaser trailer, Mr. Robot returns to the USA.
Rami Malek is back.
Yeah!
First role as Mr. Robot. Uncle Rami in his first role since Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Elliot
Elderson.
The final season already. We only got a few of these seasons. So.
Yeah, this is what, the Yeah, fourth season. Final
Is
one.
it third or fourth? Yeah, one of those two.
The fourth.
Okay. Yeah.
It's going to be 13 episodes, and they're going to be setting it in winter, and there's going to be a Christmas episode, which is kind of cool. Because it takes place in New York, and it's always kind of like summer, fall. This time it's in the winter. And Christmas episode for the finale. So we'll see what happens to Mr. Robot.
Old Mr. Robot. Yep. He's going to be around for a few more episodes. We'll have Christian Slater back, of course. The show's always shot really well. It makes you pay attention, though. There's a lot to miss if you're not paying attention. So I need to have a refresher on the first seasons and what happened last season, because honestly it's been so long. So I'm going to need to definitely watch something on that to get me caught up. I'm sure they'll play something before the season opener on that. Same on that day, October 6th, same day as Mr. Robot comes out, we have season 10 of The Walking Dead returning to AMC. 10 seasons in. I mean, it's one of the most successful shows of all time. They've lost important cast members, but, and they've lost some viewers too, but it's still one of the most watched shows. People are still into it. I'm not as much as I was before, but I finished last season. So The Walking Dead is going to return season 10, October 6th. On Friday, it's not a TV show, but it's based on a TV show. October 11th, that's a date that's in my mind for sure that I know that's going to be super important. We have El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie, coming out on Netflix. I couldn't be any more excited. We know next to nothing about it, and that's awesome. That's fine with me. We know that it's going to center on Jesse. We've seen Aaron Paul throw out a couple teasers on his Instagram accounts past couple days, saying to get ready. Basically, Jesse's, if he thought he had rough times before, it's going to get rougher for him in the movie. So it's not just going to be it could end up being a happy ending, but it's not going to start out that way for Jesse Pinkman. He's going to be on the run, and nothing else really has been announced for this, and they're going to keep it pretty secretive, I think, until then. We might get a trailer. We might get a trailer drop in the next couple of weeks. We'll have to see. Otherwise, they're going to just, Vince Gilligan's going to keep the secret till they air the movie.
I think they should just keep it secret and just release the movie. We get nothing. We know it takes place with Jesse on the run, and he's still fucked up just from the teaser image that we saw that Aaron Paul posted. And that's it. We get no information. I just want to be going to this fresh eyes, not know anything, and, fall into the world of Breaking Bad again.
I know, dude. Vince Gilligan's given us 2 more hours of that show. Phenomenal show. I wish I had time to binge watch the whole series again before this movie came out. But I definitely will be watching Breaking Bad again. It's just epic show. I think I've watched it twice. All of the episodes twice so far. Maybe not the last season now. I probably have only seen that once. So I need to rewatch the show. But I can remember everything. It was too good not to remember what happened. I can remember the final episode was awesome. We're going to see Jesse on the run. Will we see Walter White again? Is he dead? We never saw him actually dead. He wasn't in a body bag. Is he somehow going to make it back? Are we going to see Saul Goodman? Is this going to tie into the Better Call Saul universe? Stay tuned, boys. Strap in, boys and girls. October 11th, El Camino.
October 11th. You better be watching on Netflix, because we're sure as hell going to be watching it. I'm going to be talking about it right away.
It's probably going to come out at midnight. I don't know what time I'll get to watch it, but I think I have off that night. So I'm definitely going to be putting that up prime time, sitting back and watching the next adventure of Jesse Pinkman.
On HBO on October 20th, The Watchmen, I should say, based off the comic by Alan Moore, David Gibbons, which was excellent series. And the movie was really good in 2009, but now it's getting the TV treatment for HBO, and it's created by Damon Lindelof. And Lindelof, was he the writer or director of The Leftovers, which was another HBO show? I can't remember,
Damon Lindelof, I believe, directed and wrote it, I want to say.
Okay.
I'd have to check that. I think he did. If he didn't direct them all, I think he definitely directed like the pilot, maybe even the finale. We'll have to double check, but yeah, that was solid. Very solid series, very underrated. A lot of people didn't watch it. And when you see it, and I don't think you finished it either, it was very creative. It reminded me of Lost almost, you know. He was a writer on Lost. There was a lot of flashbacks and like intricate stories trying to tell all these people's stories and weave in and out of it. This had to do with like the apocalypse, and Justin Theroux was awesome in the role. Then you had Carrie Coon, like she killed it. Like, so definitely check that out. Also, playing his daughter, Justin Theroux's daughter, she's blowing up now. She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think she's dating Pete Davidson now. But it's Andy McDowell's daughter. I can't remember her name. I'd have to look it up. It's not McDowell, but yeah, just a solid cast. A lot of really memorable episodes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to The Watchmen. I mean, I watched the movie obviously, and this is going to be like an original take on it. This is going to be all new stuff, I think, or like a whole new take, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a whole new take. It's going to be completely different than the movie. But I'm not really sure what they're going to do with this because Rorschach, the character, was my favorite from the movie and the comic. But it looks like it's a whole different take. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the storyline. And I guess all these superheroes, how they all play into it.
The Watchmen. Cool, man. Yeah, it looks really good. We'll get it in series form. So you said October 20th for that one, HBO?
Yes.
Okay. We'll be checking that out here. Expect to see us in our reaction on Watchmen. On that same week, returning to Hulu, we have the Stephen King saga, basically, based on Stephen King, his works, all his writing and all his films. Castle Rock Season 2 is returning with an all-new cast of characters and a new story, still set in Maine. Of course, Stephen King's favorite place to have his stories take place in. And this one's going to have to do with the movie Misery. We're going to have Kathy Bates play the character. What's the character's name?
Annie Wilkes.
Annie Wilkes. Yep, we talked about this last time. Annie Wilkes. So we're going to see that play out over the Season 2 of Castle Rock. Castle Rock Season 1 was, for the most part, very solid. I still haven't finished it. I need to watch that last episode where spoiler alert, I think that they show the Stanley Hotel at the end in the final shot. So that was pretty cool.
Yep, and they made a reference to, how, what's her name? Jackie Torrance is related to Jack. Obviously, Jack Torrance, the reference to the Overlook. So that's pretty cool.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't have Hulu, so I'm probably going to have to look for a free trial or something maybe and just send it that way, or I might just end up subscribing.
We pay for it.
Yeah.
We pay for it a month. It's $7 a month. It's well worth it. They have a lot of modern, recent stuff and a lot of great TV shows.
Right. And we're going to be getting even more streaming services here within the next couple months. Apple TV just announced that they're going to be launching on November 1st. And I think it's going to be around the same price, I think $7 a month. And they hired a bunch of big name actors to star in their shows. Like we have a show with Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell, playing news anchors. I know Reese Witherspoon has a show. I think they got Oprah doing some work there. Jason Momoa has a project.
Aloha, Jay.
Aloha, Jay. So a lot of interesting stuff. And then, of course, Disney Plus is coming, and it's going to come with a bang. But Netflix, they were wise to do what they did, with the whole El Camino trailer. That's going to be huge. And then, of course, The Irishman. That's going to, those two, I wouldn't be surprised if those don't break viewership records between the both of those. So,
yeah, for sure. Total views in a day or something, the most views. I think it's going to be The Irishman. It's going to break lots of records.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if it is so long, I think people are going to get sucked into the story, and it's going to be viewed a lot, especially being around Thanksgiving too. You get families together. What should we watch? Oh, there's a new Marty Scorsese movie with De Niro, Pesci, and all them back together. So, all these streaming services are coming with a bang. They're making everybody shell out $7 pretty soon. It's going to be we might as well have a cable box again. But it's worth it. All these sites have things we want to watch.
Yeah, we're just talking about the Disney Plus streaming service that's coming out November. I'm really excited for The Mandalorian, which we talked about in the previous podcast. It comes out November 12th. Really excited for that. Did you have any other Disney Plus shows you're going to check out?
There's a bunch of them that are going to be launching on the 12th. When it launches, there's going to be a bunch of original content. Of course, all the old things. I'm not sure. I didn't write what's going to be premiering, but I know there's some good things that I'll be interested in seeing. I have a feeling I'll probably be watching a lot of the original Disney classics. Have a lot of the Pixar movies going because no one will want to watch those. My 2-year-old son, he's into all that stuff now. So everybody's going to have to get Disney Plus. I'd say it's probably going to end up rivaling Netflix just with the amount of content, Star Wars, Marvel.
And with all the families and kids, they're going to be watching that all the time, watching all the classic Disney flicks and Pixar. It's going to break, some records for most users,
Yeah. Disney's going to make even more money. They're going to probably buy every single movie studio. Everything's going to be under the Disney umbrella soon. They're slowly taking over the world.
Yeah, they are, dude. One day at a time.
Yeah.
Monopoly.
Yeah. They're killing it. A week prior to that, worth mentioning, Shameless is back for another great season. Always fun watching this cast. The show's always good. Might not quite be at the level as it once was, but seeing this group of characters together, and then, you'll get episodes that are hilarious, and you'll get episodes that tug on the heartstrings. So this season, Mickey's going to come back full time. Him and Ian are in prison together, so there's going to be a lot of good Galavich stories going on in the new season. Of course, Big Kev's back, V's back. Fiona left last season. Frank will be back. Just more fun stuff to look forward to from the Shameless crew coming November 3rd. A couple weeks later on Showtime, a show that we both really like, Ray Donovan is returning on November 17th. So how could you, Ray? Another season.
How could you, Ray?
So Ray Donovan, everybody's Hollywood fixer, back. Last season took place in New York. He's back in the Big Apple. He brought his family. Bunchy's there. Mick's on the loose again. He's always causing problems for Ray. So Dominic Lombardozzi was in the last season. He had a really awesome role. So I expect more good things from Ray Donovan this season. Liev Schreiber back as Ray Donovan. Always just a great role for him. A lot of similarities. Yeah, perfect role. A lot of similarities from the show to The Sopranos, just story-wise, how it's filmed. How you get an unfiltered look at these characters. It's not telling you have to like this person. It's showing everybody's flaws. Showing these people ruthlessly kill people, but it still makes you want to cheer for them to not get put in prison or killed. They're sympathetic enough, that you want to watch the Donovan clan stick together and come back for another season. Ray Donovan season 7 premieres November 17th. One more show that I had for December is season 3 of The Marvelous Miss Maisel is coming back to Amazon Prime. I've heard a lot of good things. I haven't watched it. I think you've seen a couple episodes and you said it was worth checking out. So are you looking forward to season 3? You caught up all the way?
No, we're not caught up all the way. We were still on end of season 1. So yeah, it starts off a bit slow, but it definitely picks up, and it's a lot of great actors in the show. A lot of great dynamic, and it's also a lot of great comedy in the show as well. So we're not caught up yet, but we will be before the season 3 drops.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, and that guy from Rescue Me, he's great in that show. It's Mr. Maisel. He's kind of a dick, but he plays the character well. Yeah, I had one more show I wanted to bring up. It was The Witcher, a Netflix TV series. We have Henry Cavill playing Geralt of Rivia. He's basically a monster hunter. It's like in the ancient times, between two kingdoms, kind of very Game of Thrones, fantasy world, Lord of the Rings kind of thing. He has a long white wig. It kind of looks like an elf. But Yeah, it looks pretty good. Just a little glimpse we got of that. That comes out this fall. I'm not sure exactly when, but it's going to be hitting Netflix. And that's the last TV show I have on things to look out for this fall.
Is The Witcher based on a video game?
Yeah, it's like a book series of video game.
Okay, cool. Henry Cavill, old Clark Kent Superman. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully the wig doesn't look stupid.
So that's it for our fall preview on the Cinephellas Podcast. We talked about a lot of TV and movies coming out over the next few months, and things we're really looking forward to. It's a great conversation as always. Henry, it's always great talking to you and catching some laughs and talking about everything in the entertainment business.
Logan, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my mate. Logan, I'm getting a word from our producer. We have somebody calling in. It's Andy Machietti.
Oh, good morning, boys. I hope you guys like my 3-hour picture. I was sent down in Argentina, and hopefully you always enjoy Chapter 2. What did you guys think of Chapter 2? I worked a lot of hard on that, and just want to hear from you boys. Go ahead and tell me.
Logan, you wanna take that one first?
Well, Andy, I didn't love it. It was okay. You try to stay true to the book. There's some great scenes, but there's about 45 minutes of the movie that should have been cut out. The CGI was not great, but I did enjoy The Adult Losers.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Logan. I put all my heart and dedication, and that's something I learned in Argentina as a young boy. But hopefully you'll watch my picture again, the director's cut. It's over 4 hours long. Henry, what did you think of my picture?
Hey, Andy. Yeah, I'm usually a big fan of yours. Thought you used just a little too much CGI, to be quite honest. It kind of took me out of the film, and I didn't care it as much by Pennywise this time. Maybe next time you'll do better. Maybe your director's cut will improve on it. But yeah, I just thought you used a little too much CGI. Sorry.
CGI? What do you mean, Henry? What is CGI? Those were real monsters I brought from Argentina.
Real? Oh, they were real? Wow. I just assumed that they were computer generated. They looked terrible.
Computer? What's a computer, Henry? We don't have those in Argentina. These are real monsters brought in from the forest.
Oh, okay. So basically you did everything on an Etch-a-Sketch then?
That is correct.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, Andy. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we let you go? We're both still rooting for you, by the way. We just both were a little underwhelmed by it, Chapter 2. But good luck next time, bud.
Well, I still love my two favorite nephews. And Cinephellas that are not from Argentina, but from Chicago. I understand you don't like my picture. I'll work harder on it next time. And I love talking to you boys. And I love everything you do at Cinephellas Podcast. I would love to come to the live studio one day and shoot a video, maybe a picture with you boys. I love you boys. Love Uncle Andy.
All right. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for joining us. That was great.
Thanks, Andy. I love you, mate. See you next time. We're going to be in Argentina in a few months. We'll see you down there.
Can't wait to see you boys.
Thanks for calling in, Director Andy Machietti. We appreciate it.
Thanks for calling in, Uncle Andy. We'll see you soon. Much love.
That's going to wrap it up for us today on this episode of the Cinephellas Podcast. Logan, we'll see you next time, buddy.
Yeah, that's the end of episode 45 for the Cinephellas Podcast. I love you very much, Henry Hill. Thanks for talking to me for the past hour. And we'll talk to you next week. And as always, cheers.
Cheers.
Love you, boys.